Lee, again, one of the reasons why One Nation has surged in the way that you have is absolute clarity on issues like this, right? There's no doubt where One Nation sits. What do you think about where the Nats are going and how much of that is about freaking out about what you can do to seats in the bush?
Look, first of all, it's great to see that common sense is starting to prevail, right? So well done. However, let's be really honest here. The only reason why it's happening is because One Nation is leading the way and has put them in this position, because voters and people are moving across to One Nation because we have been standing our ground, and everybody knows scrap net zero and what it stands for. So yes, it is a good start. However, I have my concerns. Great. Get rid of net zero by 2050 target, says the Nationals, but still want to achieve the emissions. The question's going to be in the detail. How are they going to, what does their plan look like? And this week coming up into the floor of Parliament will be key. Will they be supporting or opposing the ridiculous solar and wind farms that are covering Australia and yet still coming, and foreign invested, most of them as well? Will they be standing up for farmers, which is meant to be their predominant voter demographic, and fighting? Tomago Smelter is another one which is crushing because of net zero targets. So proof will be in pudding this week to see if the Nats actually stand up, whether it's just lip service or they're really going to commit to it.
According to the opinion polls, the left has grown since the election, and they had a mega win at the election, right? What was 55-45 is now 57-43. Okay, now great, there's been a massive reorganisation in what's happening on the right, all to the benefit of One Nation. Yay, I'm in, all right, happy. Tell me about One Nation and what you're starting to now build in Tasmania.
We have seen tremendous growth and support for One Nation, not only nationally with 100% increase in membership since the election, but specifically if I just look at Tasmania. I actually launched our first branch in Tasmania a couple of weeks ago up in Bass, which is Launceston region, and the turnout was phenomenal. It was amazing. The whole purpose of the branch, as you say, is to help ensure we identify the right candidates and get them elected through volunteers and support. But it's also to give them a voice. It's to ensure we understand what the real issues are. And we had that conversation at the Bass launch, and there were no surprises. The real issues which One Nation is speaking up about, hence why the support is growing, is mass immigration, is net zero, is education, is cost of living, is housing. It never ends, and people are desperate. They're seeking for strong leadership and party representation. So I've launched the first one of 4 more branches to come, so that'll be 5 in Tasmania in every electorate, which is fantastic. So the next one is on the 15th of November in the Seat of Lions. But also with that, already I've seen over a 300% growth in Tasmanian One Nation membership since the election. So it's phenomenal. But I have one challenge, which I'm not sure if you're aware of, Paul. I'm currently trying to get the party registered in Tasmania, but I have this ridiculous hurdle I have to overcome. In order to register a political party in Tasmania, we're the only state or territory which require a certain number of your membership base to publish their names and electorate address, so what's on the electoral roll, in all the newspapers in Tasmania. Now, you tell me, is that a breach of privacy laws?
So Billy Bloggs of Smith Street has to say, not only here's my politics, they have to put it in the freaking paper?
Yep. Correct. So we're the only state and territory in Australia that requires this, which is absolutely ridiculous. And the only way we can get this change is through the floor of Parliament, State Parliament Tasmania. Now, as if they're going to allow One Nation change the law so One Nation can get registered easy. But we're not letting it overcome us. It is ridiculous, it is archaic, and it needs to be changed. But the support is there. So we're getting our stat decks, and don't you worry, it won't be long before we're registered, and we'll be putting candidates in the state election and the council election, so here we come.
Yeah, let's see. All right, look, it is a minority government, only held together with twine and wire.